The Collegian News is brought to you in part by University Inn and Suites. Live here, save money.
Dean of Students wants to remind students to vote in the SGA elections via Blackboard. Polls open at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, March 27th and close on Thursday, March 29th at 4 p.m. Students who vote in the SGA elections will then have an opportunity to vote for their choice of UTB's new mascot.
UT Brownsville offers 19 online programs, 7 masters, 9 bachelors, and 3 graduate certificates. For more information, visit us at utb.edu/online.
Hi, welcome to another edition of the Collegian News. I'm Melissa Ramirez.
And I'm Clary Quesada.
The City of Brownsville has reached an agreement with Allied Waste on the increase in garbage collection fees.
Samantha Ruiz has a story.
Good news for Brownsville residents. The garbage collection rate hike is smaller than originally planned. Residents will see a bill of $19.83 per container on April 1st instead of the original $20.63 that was being requested by the company. Of that total, $15.37 will go to Allied Waste and $4.46 to the city. During its meeting last Tuesday, the Brownsville City Commission also approved an addendum to the license agreement with Allied Waste that was first approved on March 17, 2010.
Indexes in the industry that we can be using for CPI increases, and the index that was in the original contract that was approved by the City Commission on 2010 had a different index that would somehow be a higher rate increase for the ratepayer. So we checked into it and we discovered that there are other indexes that we could follow. We did talk to Allied Waste and we had some negotiations with them, and they agreed to use a different index which would benefit the resident customer or the ratepayer.
According to the addendum, the new cost reflects a change in the Water, Sewer, and Trash Collection Services Index and the Gulf Coast Weekly Retail On-Highway Diesel Price Index.
We're going to be using now 2 indexes. It's going to be the Garbage Trash Collection Index that's published by the U.S. Department of Labor, and the Gulf Coast Weekly Retail On-Highway Diesel Prices Index, which is published by the Department of Energy. By using these 2 indexes, or substituting this for the other, the percentage rate increase will be lower at 4.09 instead of the 4.96% if we follow what's in the original agreement.
For the Collegian News, I'm Samantha Reese.
Students will compete later this week for seats in the Student Government Association. Michelle Serrano fills us in.
The Student Government Association has appointed senior psychology major Gabby Ortiz as senator for College of Liberal Arts. The appointment will be the last as the SGA gears up for online elections to be conducted beginning at 8 a.m. Tuesday and ending at 4 p.m. Thursday, with all positions except the judiciary up for grabs. A total of 22 students applied to run, university officials said Thursday. During the Advisors Corner portion of the meeting, David Marquez said the election will also feature the link to UT Brownsville's mascot selection. Students will choose from 31 animal, natural phenomena, and people for the new university symbol.
And the Collegian will help us out, is that the mascot committee, as you may have heard, has been hard at work at trying to narrow down those nominations from students. And everybody who votes in the SGA elections will have the opportunity to vote on that list, to narrow down the list for the mascots. But they won't be able to vote unless they vote for the SGA elections. So, the list, I believe, contains about 31 possibilities right now. And this first round is going to be to narrow it down to less than that. I think 5 or something like that. 5.
For the Collegian News, I'm Michelle Serrano.
Student Health Services has received national accreditation.
Okay. Why is it important to become accredited by the AAAHC?
Actually, it's for the same reasons that I said before. Ensures that the services that we are providing to students are of excellent quality and equal to some of the most prestigious or kind of excellent healthcare facilities outside. That's why it is. And this is an accreditation body that is kind of similar to the Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare, of hospital and healthcare facilities outside, for example, the hospitals in the area need to be Joint Commission accredited in order to receive federal monies, or even to be able to be be able to accept Medicare or Medicaid of any of those healthcare programs that the government funds. So it's at the same level as the Joint Commission on the Accreditation of Healthcare Facilities, which is TOPS here in the nation and international.
Angela Valenzuela, an expert in Latino education, spoke on campus March 19th and touted an alternative to standardized testing.
Valenzuela, who is also the Associate Vice President for School Partnerships at UT Austin, was a speaker for the College of Education's Distinguished Lecture Series.
We need to move to a system where failure is mythic, right? I mean, you're not going to fail if it's not a question of whether you're going to graduate. It's a question of when. So there's so many units you have to complete. The units are threaded across the curriculum, and at the end of the unit, you defend it before a board of community members. That's like a graduate level course that you would take. And very few graduate level courses even do anything like that unless it's at the thesis level. But there's these amazing opportunities that exist that need to be considered. There's different ways of doing education in our state and nation. And so if we think about what New York was doing, what we need to do as NELRAP is broadcast, let the world know it can be different. And these kids are in the Brooklyn, Bushwick area, they're Puerto Rican children, kids that would be considered at risk and likely to fail. They're going to college in very, very high wages.
Here's Marlene Rodriguez with this week's What's Your Beef?
What issue do you have right now?
Well, the issue that I have right now is that not many students know that there's other programs about like homeless or like pack a book for kids, kids that, that need books.
What issue are you facing right now?
When I started coming to class, it used to be really hot because of the summertime. I would think that since parking is so far away and we have a lot of sidewalks to use, I think it would be really cool if we put some sort of like tent or tarp over the sidewalk so we could have shade as we walk.
What issue are you facing with right now?
The UTB separation from TSC. I think overall it will benefit the student population because each institution can focus better on their own students.
The Gorgas Science Society is one of the most active student organizations on campus. Here's what the members had to say on Club Spotlight.
President Sylvia Paz, what is the purpose of your club?
The purpose of the Gorgas Science Society is to educate students in the various fields of science through various community service activities that we do.
President Andres Garcia, what activities does your club participate in?
All right, well, the Gorgas Science Society participates in several activities throughout the city of Brownsville. For one instance, we participate with city cleanups or the Brownsville cleanups. We do beach cleanups. We also do activities that involve the biological aspects of Brownsville, so Sable Palm Sanctuary.
Treasurer Ivan Herrero, what are the club dues?
Well, there's a $5 dues per semester, and by paying that, you will be able to vote in our elections to choose president, treasurer, and vice president.
Now we have sports editor Valerie Secrease with this week's Sports Roundup.
This week on Sports Roundup, the UTB TSC baseball team fell 2-1 against Texas A&M University Kingsville. But the team had a successful spring break as they defeated Fisher and Wiley College in 8 games. Here's the play. After a harsh 15-6 loss against the Texas A&M International University Dust Devils earlier this month, the Scorpions looked to make a comeback when they traveled to Laredo on Tuesday. Another A&M component, Kingsville, edged the UTB TSC baseball team 2-1 last Tuesday at Scorpion Field, the last game before the Scorpions began a month-long road trip. The non-conference loss against the Javelinas broke the 8-game winning streak the Scorpions had during spring break against Fisher and Wiley colleges. UTB TSC took a 1-0 lead in the second inning on a run-scoring single by KJ Simeon, scoring Matt Ginn. but the team could not bring any more base runners home. Outfielder Peter Maldonado was the only Scorpion with 2 hits in the game. While everyone else was out at the beach and catching up on their tans, the Scorpions were on a busy schedule as they played 8 games over spring break. UTB TSC hosted the Fisher College Falcons in a 5-game series March 10th through the 14th and proved to be victorious in every game. The Scorpions swept the series 9-4, 12-4, 12-8, 12-4, and 6-5. After 5 victorious days on its home diamond, the team traveled to Marshall for an important 3-game Red River Athletic Conference series against Wiley College, where it swept the competition. UTB TSC is now 23-10 for the season and 13-2 in the RRAC. The Scorpions jumped into first place in the conference on March 16th with a Northwood University loss and remained there with the win on March 17th. UTB TSC swept the Red River Athletic Conference Weekly Baseball Awards as Colby Hensey was named Red River Athletic Conference Player of the Week and Adam Vera Red River Athletic Conference Pitcher of the Week for March 12th through the 18th. Also, over the break, the men's and women's golf teams traveled to Daytona to compete in the Eagle Invitational. The men finished in 6th place out of 13 teams, and the women finished 12th out of 17 teams. After the 2-day Eagle Invitational hosted by Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona, Florida, the UTB TSC men's golf team finished tied for 6th place out of 13 teams. On the opening day, March 19th, the team was tied for 8th place after its 36-hole total of 617. The men returned to the course last Tuesday to play 18 holes, and as a team gathered up a score of 305 to bump them up to 6th place in the tournament. Vincent Cavazos led the Scorpions with a 54-hole total of 228, shooting 75 Tuesday. Anthony Milligan shot a 75 for a 229 total. Eric Cavazos shot 78 for a 230. Adam Haley shot 81 for a 235, and Marcus Cavazos shot 77 also for a 235. The men's team also participated in the UST Mamiya Texas Intercollegiate at Hawks Creek Golf Club in Fort Worth, March 11th and 12th, where they placed 12th out of 16 teams with a 2-day total of 605. Milligan finished with a 4-over par score to highlight UTB TSC's efforts at the tournament. After a first round 2-under par 70 March 11th, Milligan shot a 6-over par 78 March 12th. His total score of 148 was the best showing for UTB TSC in the strong 16-team field. The UTB TSC women's golf team joined the men in Daytona on the course as they shot a 358 total on the first day of the tournament to put them in 12th place out of 17 teams after 18 holes. The women remained in 12th place with an 18-hole total score of 353 last Tuesday. Eleni Muro led the team with a 165, shooting 82 Tuesday after an 83 on the first round. Crystal Garza shot 85 for a 170 total. Elizabeth Garza shot 92 and finished with 185. Kat Lira shot 94 and finished with 191. And Veronica Vasquez had a 103 and finished with a 201. The Eagle Invitational was the last tournament for the men's team until the Red River Athletic Conference Championship in Red Rock April 16th and 17th. The women's team will participate in the Bluebonnet Classic in Fort Worth today and Tuesday. Last but not least, I met with senior golfer Vincent Cavazos for this week's Athlete of the Week. If you could meet somebody famous, who would it be and why?
I always had a little crush on Shakira. You know how people name, boats after a girl, so I didn't have a boat, so I named my truck Shakira, so I would love to meet her one day.
Okay. What do you enjoy the most about playing golf?
What I love is playing with my brothers. I played with them since middle school, high school, now college, so I always think that's something not everyone gets to enjoy playing with, so not everyone has the opportunity to play with their brothers, and I love playing with them and my teammates, so I'm glad for that.
What are your expectations for you and your team this semester?
I mean, we already had a lot of good tournaments together, and our last tournament conference coming up, we love to win that, and it's always been one of our goals to win conference.
What is your favorite thing about golf?
Just the competitive nature. I've always been an athlete. I've played all these sports, and golf's probably my favorite sport, and just being in competition.
And what is next for you after graduating?
I'm from Corpus, but I like to be here in Brownsville. It's what I want to do is stay here and help the guys out and help my brothers, help the team out, and just stick around for a little bit longer. I'm not ready to leave yet.
Okay. Do you have any secret talents that people might not know about?
Well, I have one secret. I always jam out either in the car when I'm by myself, or when people are in the car, I jam out, or when I'm in the shower, I like to put my phone in full blast and pretend I'm like 50 Cent or something and rap and freestyle a little bit.
That's all I have for this week on Sports Roundup. Back to you, Melissa.
Thank you, Valerie. That's all we have for this week. Thank you for joining us. I'm Melissa Ramirez.
And I'm Clary Quesada. Have a great day.